Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Unmapped Reality podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about a near-death experience because I'm very curious about it. I love talking about this stuff. So just enjoy the show and just follow along.
So near-death experiences. So when you think of near-death experiences, Phil, like, have you heard anything in particular? Like, what is it about it that you find like interesting or fascinating?
Honestly, it's just the other side because actually, I was on YouTube today, and I looked up life after death or whatever, what other people are experiencing, right? And it was so cool, man. It was so cool what they were saying. They're like, they didn't want to come back. They felt free there. They actually got pissed when they came back to the real world. And I'm just fascinated about it, man. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's like there's no way you can be afraid to die anymore. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree. And I think the thing that intrigues me about it is like science can't like prove or disprove it. So like if you like, I don't know what type of science is that like you could actually, what type of science you could use to actually prove these things. So like pretty much like everything is kind of anecdotal, right? So like meaning that like you're taking someone's word for what it is, and you can't use science to disprove it or prove it. So it's just like, I don't know, man. It's pretty damn interesting, bro. It's pretty damn interesting. And there's a few experiences that I find super intriguing that like we're gonna get into, because it's like, yeah, you can't use science to prove or disprove it, but like the types of things that these people are, talking about during their experiences, they would have had to have their, like, they would have had to been conscious. Like they would have had to have their awareness, but they're clinically dead. Like,
and sorry to cut you off.
yeah.
That's another thing too. There was one girl that said she saw her body from above, but her conscious was still there while she was traveling all these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Through all these paths and seeing this, seeing that. I'm like, what? What is going on? Oh, I was just so fascinated, man. Like, it's just unreal. Just what they experienced, man. Because like, there was one girl, I believe she died for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes or something like that. And she was experienced like just the other side of it, man. And then bringing it back into this world, think about it. It's like somebody's trying to tell us something. Like, if you're bringing somebody back into this world, they want you to tell what you saw on the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
just 100%, man. Like,
I feel like people are gifted, honestly. I feel like people are gifted.
I don't know. See, that's another angle to it. I don't know if people are actually gifted, or maybe if like you have to be like consciously like open to the idea of it to be able to experience these things. But like, I feel like whether it be a lot of just weird things in general, why are certain people able to experience certain things and others just don't? And I don't know if like you can really put like, because some people be like, oh, like, they have faith or they have certain beliefs and this or that. But like, you'll have some people who are completely skeptical to these things, and maybe they're non-religious, maybe they're non-spiritual. They just don't think there's anything after this. And then you have those types of individuals that will, they'll have these profound experiences that forever change their lives. And I'm not saying they'll move into like religion in particular, but like they'll just become completely spiritual because of it. Because of what they experienced, they realize that like the soul and consciousness it has to carry on.
Yeah.
And because I think a lot of the skeptics, they try to do away with it being like, oh, well, you're having these types of dreams, or you're having these types of, experiences because you've already have this cultural, ideology or background already built into your brain just because of where you grew up, right? Like in Canada, we have a culture, or even if you go to with religion, Christianity, they have a culture, other religions, they have a culture. So it would make sense that if you're having like these experiences, that it would very much relate to what your culture or your religious background is. But what makes this super, super interesting, man, is not everyone is like coming out of this and they're like, I walked with Jesus, or
Exactly.
some, like I said, like obviously some of it though, like I've heard like stories where people are like, oh, I've died for 8 minutes or whatever, and like I walked with Jesus, he showed me hell, and like I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah.
But like I think most of the experiences, they're not necessarily tied to religion. They're just like they were spiritual experiences and not
Yeah.
necessarily tied to like any religion. And I think that's super cool.
No, no, 100%. And I was actually eating dinner with the wife, and I was looking around. So we were at a restaurant, and I was looking around, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I see the world differently now. It's weird. It's
It's in your
weird, man.
head, eh? I know.
I swear, bro, I look
Uh,
around, and I'm like, all these people have a soul that's just in a vessel. You know what I mean? Like they're just in
yeah.
a friggin' body. Like, like this is not where
Mm-hmm.
we belong. We belong somewhere else, and this is why people don't want to come back when they die. They don't.
100%.
They hated it.
Yeah. No.
I don't know, man.
I completely agree. And if there's anything I learned from the first podcast, when you rewatch it and you critique like what you bring to it, like there's things that I obviously want to evolve on and be better. And one of those things is like making things a lot less about me. But so we can maybe edit this out if if we kind of, or if I look back at it and I feel like it's not really going to fit, but I have had my own personal NDE. And I know I mentioned it to you, briefly, especially around the time when your father passed. And I've talked to your sister and your brother about it too. But when I was 17 years old, I was not only hit, but I was run over by a vehicle, by an acquaintance. Complete accident. But a lot of head trauma and in and out of consciousness. And don't remember too much. I do have little snippets like on the way to the clinic and then the hospital, because the clinic wouldn't take me in because the trauma was too much. And instead
Mm-hmm.
of like calling an ambulance there where medical professionals are, they got, the poor acquaintance that I knew, maybe a bit of a friend at the time too, to get me back into the vehicle and rush me to Children, the children's
Yeah.
hospital at the time. So anyways, to make a longer story shorter, I had this very profound experience. Now it didn't last very long, but it was pretty much like my consciousness was suspended into this like for a lack of a better term, like I'll get through this quickly. So imagine if like you're kind of flying through a plane looking out the window and just like there's clouds everywhere. And behind the cloud is like a sun or this like ball of energy. Well, it
Mm-hmm.
kind of was like that. That's the best way that I can like put it into like any like human words. But have you ever experienced it, Phil, where like it's like a really, really cold day? Like imagine like -30, bro. And when you get that chill where it's kind of like it's uncomfortable to the bone.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I know people have definitely experienced this before. So like stepping in front of a window on a cold day and just feeling the sun touch you and it hits you, like you feel the energy from the sun
Mm-hmm.
and you can instantly feel the comfort from it. Like it's just like a very relaxing feeling. I had the same feeling, the exact same feeling. Like it wasn't anything different. Like it was like the exact same feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but like times a million,
Really.
bro. And it was like all love. It was all comfort. And I was having like acknowledgement with this light, this energy, and everything was like telepathic, bro.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of more like putting your thoughts out into the universe type situation. And I was suspended like in this place. I like just and comfortable, bro. Phil, I was in a lot of pain. And as soon as
Mm-hmm.
I was here, bro, the pain was gone. Like I was very relaxed. I was 17 years old. So keep this in mind. I was 17 years old. And I remember saying like exactly like word for word, God, I'm 17 years old. But if this is it, I'm ready to go. Instantly. Instantly, Phil, boom. I felt the pain. I ended up back in my body. It was almost like I was like it was almost like Velcro. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I felt like Velcro being like initially when I first left, it felt like Velcro was ripping like apart. And then after, it felt like I was just like coming back, like I was attaching. And bro, like I instantly, like I sat up, I felt the pain. I started like vomiting, throwing up. I was in a world of hurt, man. Like getting run over by a car, let alone being
Yeah,
hit by a car. Cars
100%.
hurt, bro.
That's
Like
crazy.
cars are undefeated. Like
Yeah,
they win every time, bro. They hurt.
especially against a human.
Yeah. So like, oh, and when I woke up, now I don't necessarily tie this to any religion, but when I woke up, there was this little, I don't know, maybe 1 foot by 1 foot. I'll never forget this, bro. There was a 1 foot by 1 foot cloth, and it had like greens. It was a white cloth and this like, green stitching all the way around. And stitched in it was the face of Jesus. And it
Holy
was
shit.
a stitched in, I don't know if it was a prayer or just like a few words. I can't remember. We're going back a long time. But it was the face of Jesus and stitched in some words and or like a prayer. And I
That's
lost
crazy.
that, bro. I lost that cloth. You know, when like you're a teenager, bro, you let the cloth hang at the back of
No,
you think you're cool.
100%. Yeah.
Bro, I was walking through Overbrook and I dropped it. And like, I really wish to this day, like I just, oh, but anyways, if this doesn't fit, we'll edit it out. But I do feel like, it kind of goes where it absolutely goes with what we're talking about.
No,
But
100%.
that's as
100%.
much as I'm going to make it about me. I just feel like I can share that experience because it's very like topical, but I don't
Yeah.
want to get into like any of my personal stuff anymore. It doesn't belong on here. So,
No, it's all good.
but yeah, man. But do you remember me having that conversation with you and your sister in particular when your father passed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And then, so I just, I'm just hoping to like, I, I don't share it too often, but I was hoping to like just kind of lend comfort, you
No,
know?
for sure.
So
100%.
it may not have been
Uh,
the right time, but I felt in my heart that maybe it would just lend a bit of comfort. And I wanted to share that with you, you and your
no,
family.
I
So
appreciate that, man. That's crazy. I appreciate that. It's
yeah,
just crazy
yeah.
to think like been ran over by a freaking car, bros.
Well, bro, it happened so fast, Phil. Like I was at the front of a group and had like an old school, like kind of like these headphones that like we're wearing now. And I had one off of my ear, and I just heard the vehicle behind me, bro. And by the time I looked back, like people were kind of like just like scattering. And I saw it the last second, bro. And I tried to jump, but it caught my right, bro. It caught my right leg, bro. My pants were ripped up to my knee, and my boot was like almost split. And then,
Holy
bro,
shit.
I remember rolling under the car and being like, I can't breathe, and it's like
Yeah.
crushing me. And then I lost consciousness while I was under the vehicle. And then as soon as I landed, I regained consciousness. And this is going by what like everyone was like, telling me. They were like, man, you flew through the air. Like you came out the back and they were saying I was like 10 feet. There's not 10 feet in the air. Like there's no way. I think I flew 10
It's
feet in the air.
insane.
But like I was literally from where the car was stopped, from where I got up, bro, I was at least 30 or 40 feet. Like they were saying like I flew. And I don't remember flying. I remember being under the car. I remember it grabbing me, pulling me down and rolling. And then I remember, and then like I got up, and because like I was all like cut open and stuff, like my eye, I remember my 2 fingers like going up and the skin coming over. And then it was just like the pain just set in. And then that's when I was like fighting like in and out of consciousness. And it's just like, bro, every time I closed my eyes to like sleep, the pain would go away. And then when my buddy beside me, he was like, dude, like, don't sleep. Like, you can't fall asleep. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was trying to step, but bro, the pain was so bad. Like, it was so bad in my head, man. And then every time I closed my eyes, bro, like I was dozing off, just like a normal sleep, bro. That's all it felt like. I was just dozing off.
Yeah.
The pain would just disappear.
That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah, man, it was crazy. Like, it was absolutely a wild experience, man. A wild
No.
experience. But anyways, let's continue on with that. Like, we'll just keep
Yeah.
going. But yeah, man, it was wild. And sometimes I really do kick myself in the ass because ultimately I appreciate the experience, but I also feel like sometimes I don't do enough. Like I think sometimes I fail myself, and in a way I can't really explain. Like I think I should be, I don't know. I think sometimes I take that experience for granted, but I know like deep down within, like I definitely appreciate it for sure. But like I could do better, like 100%. And that's just a personal some things that I feel like I need to clean up in my life personally. But anyways, we'll leave that out. But yeah, man. So we can keep
That's
on rocking
crazy.
in the free world here and
Yep.
keep pushing through. And
I have a question.
yes, sir.
What do you, when people say they die and they see the light, what do you
Yeah,
think that is? The light of what?
energy, bro. Because I can only tell you what I experienced. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. God, bro, it was energy. Like maybe it was an angel, maybe, but like I just had this understanding, like bro, like I just had this understanding, like I knew this was God.
That's crazy.
It doesn't prove anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it wasn't God, but it's like, bro, like everything works on like a telepathic thing, bro. It's like if I were to sit here and just look at you because I can see you on the screen, bro, and we're just like thinking things and we have an understanding. It's like it's not even like you hear each other's thoughts, bro. It's almost like a download. It's super, super tough to understand. So it's not like if you were thinking something to me right now, it's not like I would like hear it in my head. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you feel the emotions and like those emotions translate into language in your head. Like I don't know. I really don't know how else to explain it. It's tough.
No, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. But the light, I do think that is God and whatever God is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
energy is incredible. Like it's
No, for
absolutely
sure.
it's super comforting. It's very loving. It's quite amazing. It's a profound experience for sure.
But do you think all near-death experience are peaceful? Do you know what I mean?
Um uh well, there are these people who come back and they said that like Jesus took them to hell and they were able to view hell and they come back and now they're preaching to everyone to whether it be find Jesus or do better in life because you don't want to end up in the lake of fire or you don't want to end up there. So I think that would be like a very traumatic experience. So like I don't
Yeah.
know if I would call that peaceful, but I do think maybe a profound experience like that to put someone on the right path and like um try to, you know, get people to do
Better
better in
themselves
their
or whatever.
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think that's a positive, but like I'm not quite sure like seeing hell if it actually exists. I can't. There's no way that I can view that as being peaceful, bro. Like think about
Yeah.
it. Like
I
like
don't
like
I don't
like if
think hell's
heaven,
real, man.
bro. But like if let's just say heaven's a real place.
Mm-hmm.
If heaven is like this beautiful realm, then hell would be the opposite. Like that would be like, whew, that would be terrifying. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see souls burning in a lake of fire or being tortured by demons and the devil and all these things. Like I just can't see how that could ever be like peaceful. So no, if these people are telling the truth, and
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that they aren't. There's more than one person coming out and talking about these things. But like no, I no. So then maybe not. No, I don't think. I
Okay.
just don't. I just don't think how a vision of hell can be considered peaceful.
No, that's fair. I was just very curious because like if every obviously at one point people start passing away, dying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious to see like if somebody actually did like let's say if somebody like killed somebody in their life and then they
Mm-hmm.
end up passing from either old age or something else, like
Mm-hmm.
are they gonna go to somewhere where it's dark and like like hell? You know what I
I
mean?
would
It's
hope.
just like
I would hope not. And I do think if let's just say heaven, like let's say if heaven and hell were real, if God is as loving as what most religions, speak about, I also believe he's quite forgiving. Like he would have
mhm,
to be, right? Like I'm a father
mhm,
and I'm very forgiving and I'm very patient and I'm very, I just know as a father that I wouldn't be able to send my daughter to hell. Like it's just like think about it, bro. Like when you have kids, like would you be able to punish your children with that eternal type of damnation? Like
mhm.
I don't think any father could really do that, bro. I think like you'd have to be like Hitler himself. Like I think like you would have to be like I think you'd have to be a really, really like at at your DNA level, just a terrible person, bro. Like, because everyone makes mistakes, bro.
For
You know,
sure.
how many
For
people
sure,
like
yeah.
commit murders, bro? Like, you know, or do some terrible things, and you know, maybe they find God. You know, how many times you like have you kind of like watched movies or documentaries, or I know, like, because I watch a lot of true crime. There's so many people, and I get it. They can be playing to the camera, whatever. But I mean, that can't be. Even if it's a small percentage, some of them have to be real. Where, bro, they'll be locked up, bro. They'll join the church in there. They'll get baptized. They'll give their life to, Jesus. They'll give their life to God. And then in those cases, yeah, I believe like people can be redeemed.
No, for
Now,
sure. For
where's
sure.
that threshold? Like, do I believe Hitler can be redeemed? No. You can't just try to, genocide a race of people and just like,
Yeah.
like there are levels to like real, like true evil,
Hmm.
but, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question, but,
Yeah, no, it does. 100% it does. Um, Another thing too.
mhm.
What do you? So I always wanted to know this, but a coma. If you're in a coma,
I've asked about this and I don't
have you?
have all the answers. Yeah, I actually chat GPT'd it because apparently when you're in a coma, bro, your consciousness is taken from you. So I don't think like you're even in like a dreaming state. I think from what I read, a coma is similar to a state when they put you under for when you go for like a surgery. So you
So
go
you're
out, you
basically
don't remember
okay. That's
anything, and then you're
crazy.
up and you're like,
Yeah.
oh wow, what happened? And then you're like, oh wow, surgery's done. You
Yo,
know what I mean?
you know what's crazy, bro? Is you can
Mm.
be in a coma for like 7 years. It all depends, bro. You can
Yeah,
be in a coma for so long,
yeah.
and then when you wake up, it'll feel like it was yesterday.
100%, bro. You can
What
you can be in a coma at like 15 years old. You wake up as an adult.
the? Yo, that's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
like yeah. Who's the president now? Who's the prime minister? Oh wow,
Yeah.
like been sleeping for a history. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But from what I read up on, but even then, there are really, really intriguing stories. Now there's few of them. Like, I don't think they're out there as anywhere near as like near death experiences, but there are people. Well, actually, there was a really weird one, and I really don't want to get off the topic, but I guess being in a coma, you could have these profound experiences a little bit too. But there was a guy who went in a coma, and he said that he lived a full life. Like, he lived a full life with another family. So it wasn't his wife, it was another wife. He had other kids
While
that
he was in a coma?
while he was in a coma, he actually fell in love with, like, as a family. Like, he loved his wife. He adored his children, loved them. He lived an entire life, bro. And when he woke up, he was sad because he would never see them again. So he
What
felt
the
like he lost his kids and he felt he lost his wife. I was only listening to this maybe within the last 6 months. It was on a podcast, and I was like, that is wild.
Yo,
This guy was
what?
in a coma. Yeah, he was in a coma for like 6 months or something. It wasn't even years. It was like, let's say, I think it was like 4 to 6 months or something. And yeah, bro, like he lived this entire life.
While being
Yeah,
in a coma.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he was like dreaming it? Like what was it?
He said it was real. He said it was as real as like you and I are talking right now. He said he lived a full life, bro. And I was like, I've never heard that theory or anything like that before. And I'm like, that is super interesting.
Yeah,
But
well
bro,
dreams feel like
no, no,
like
but
they are
Phil,
real.
no, but Phil, what if it's real?
There's no way.
But
What?
I, I know, but what if it's real? Like, how wild is that?
Bro,
To
he's in a
even just
coma. He's not
speculate.
moving. He's there. He's not
Yeah, I
moving at
know.
all.
But
There's
in
no
his
way it could be
mind,
real.
I know, but in his mind, it was so real. He
Unless
was in another dimension with
unless his soul left his body and went to a different person.
no, but it maybe it's
That's
possible,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy.
I have no idea. But he woke up and he was talking to the nurses and the doctors about it, and they found it super fascinating too. And I was just like,
That is
I've heard a
so
lot of
crazy.
like theories, but I'm like, that's a different one.
That's
While in a
different.
coma
That's
for like
different.
4 to 6 months, you've lived an entire different life. So like he woke and he was heartbroken because he wasn't with his family. But here he had a family too, bro. He had kids and a wife.
My God, what? No, that's crazy.
That's
That's
wild.
nuts.
If he's telling the truth, but he was like, but I remember listening to it, bro, and he was like crying. He was heartbroken. He's like, I understand that, like, what people think, but he's like, I really love them. He's like, I had kids, like, I had a wife, and life was
What?
good. And
Bro, I'm
I
so
was
like,
like, yeah,
that hurt my head. That, bro,
I, I just
that,
like,
like,
there's
what?
just not too many theories that like I hear, and then I'm like, whoa, that one was like a whoa moment. I was like, what the
For
hell?
sure, because
I was
bro,
like,
you're in a
this is
coma. Your body physically is in a freaking bed.
yeah, and technically your brain, it's supposed to be cut, bro. Like
Yeah,
like when the doctors put you under anesthesia, you don't remember
yeah.
anything. Like
What?
that's how comas are generally supposed to work. Like, or like not work, but like when you're in a coma, that's generally the experience. Like you're out, like you wake up, it's like maybe you felt like you were sleeping for 5 minutes, but it's really been 6 months.
No,
Like
see,
you're
that's
not
crazy.
supposed to have that type of brain activity.
Yeah, no, that's
So
crazy.
did so you bring a good point, like bring up a good point. So did his soul leave his body? Did he actually have this experience? Like what happened?
Yeah,
So
man.
I actually want to look into it. I want to see if there's more and more about these types of
Yeah.
experiences while in a coma. But I'm actually happy you brought that up because I was like super interested after. Like, so like, do we just dream? Can you like, well, in a coma, like, can you hear anything? Like, what
Can
is
you
like
live
the
another
mind state?
life while being in a coma? Like what?
Oh, yeah, man. Like that is one of the most fascinating things like I've heard in a while. Like this guy had a whole other life,
Yeah,
whole other
no,
family,
that's
children he loved, wife he married. He had this incredible life wherever he was or whatever he was dreaming, thinking, who knows? Like yeah, I found it really fascinating. It was definitely a whoa moment for me. I was like, holy jeez, man.
mm-hmm.
That's wild. That's wild
No,
for
that is
sure.
crazy. That is crazy.
100%. But getting into these really cool like experiences, I've got two here that are pretty wild, man, and I really I really want to know what like your take is on it. Okay,
Yep.
so the first one is actually he's a doctor, he's a neurosurgeon who was skeptical of all of this.
Okay.
So his name is like Dr. Eben Alexander. Okay. So pretty much what happened in 2008, he developed a rare bacterial meningitis that put him into a deep coma for 7 days. So his
Okay.
brain's neocortex, so like the part that's responsible for like conscious like thought,
Mm-hmm.
was it was severely impaired, bro. So while he had this severe impairment, like with his brain, he described like starting off in like a dark mud-like realm or reality, and at first it was filled with like confusion, and then it started to like transition into like this bright, hyper like realistic landscape. And then he talks about how like the colors, they were super like vibrant, like so vibrant, like you don't even experience that like here on Earth. And
Mm-hmm.
then like a sense of like overwhelming love. And then he mentions encountering a woman. So I guess she'd be like a guide or something. But again, it was
An
like
angel, maybe.
telepathic. Could be, bro. But
Yeah.
he talks about telepathic communication. And I guess the communication was that, he was loved and cherished and pretty much had nothing to fear. And then he describes entering this vast void, like filled with like a divine presence, what he pretty much interpreted as God. And I guess he had, this experience with this godlike energy. And then he pretty much awoke and talked about that experience. And remember, he's a neurosurgeon. He knows about the brain. He knows his situation. And he was a skeptic. He's no longer a skeptic. He truly believes what he experienced was reality.
So did he want to go under to experience this?
No, 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 no. He had a medical situation. So what happened, bro?
Oh.
He had meningitis, bro.
Oh.
He had meningitis.
The
He's
hell's
so like,
meningitis?
what's that?
What's meningitis?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's like a bacterial. It's like a very dangerous like bacterial like infection that I
Oh,
think
so
can.
he died for how long?
I don't think he died. I think he ended up in a coma. So going back to what you were actually saying, bro, talking about comas.
Yeah, what the hell?
So yeah, he developed a rare bacterial meningitis that put him in like a deep coma for 7 days.
But
So
I
he was
thought if you're in a coma, it's like you're sleeping. I didn't know you can have these out of body experiences.
well, I don't know if it was an out of body experience because I don't think
Well, if
like it
he's meeting
actually.
God and shit.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe, but in other cases, people actually claim to actually see themselves elevate over their body. I'm not quite sure if he ever mentioned like he can feel his soul detach, but like maybe it was more of like a mental thing. Like I don't know how else to explain it, but
Huh.
he had an
That's weird.
experience that was to him profound enough to make him a believer, and he was a skeptic, and he's a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he
Yeah. Yeah.
knows about the brain, like or quite a, he should know. Maybe like we all don't know, like, maybe even our professionals, like, they don't know everything, obviously, but he was a
Uh-huh.
skeptic. He never believed that this could actually be real.
That's crazy.
And he
No, that's
firmly
weird.
believes that it was a real, yeah, he firmly believes it was a real experience.
And it was in a
It
coma
changed
too.
him. Yeah, bro. And it changed him.
No, that's
And
crazy.
like I said, when you're in a coma, it's supposed to be like you're under anesthesia, bro. Like it's just you don't even know, like you're just out.
Yeah, I just thought when you're meeting, like, let's just say God, or like a strong ball of light or whatever.
Hmm.
I just thought that you would have to like die for like a few minutes in order to do that. I don't know. I don't believe like you can just meet God just because you're in
Hmm.
a coma, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just want to know when people are so. I'm actually going to do a lot of research on this, man, because now I'm like curious with the whole coma thing,
Yeah.
because I didn't realize he was actually in a coma until just like reading that there. I actually thought he had like this experience where he was clinically dead.
Yeah, like
Um,
that's what I'm saying.
so I guess this goes back like when you were asking about the coma. That, yeah, I found that very interesting. But even then, when you're in a coma, your brain activity is like,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
but his consciousness survived that. But what I find really weird is it's not like that for everyone. Like, why are certain people able to have these experiences and others like just don't?
Unless, like you said,
Like,
unless he wasn't a believer, he wasn't, and in order to do that, maybe God is showing him.
yeah. Do you think it was
You know
like
what I mean?
maybe? Well, maybe God had a plan for him. I
Exactly.
think God's got, kind of plans for everyone, one way
Yeah,
or another. I think he
100%.
gives us, different, because we have free will, right? Like
Yeah,
we're born free, or should be born free.
yeah,
And I just think that maybe he's, created these different timelines where we can branch off and go into different directions, where you have these different paths and stuff. And maybe this was because he chose this path in life. Maybe he came at it like a crossroads, and boom,
yeah,
he had this experience. And maybe this experience will lead to, who knows what it'll lead to. Maybe it makes him a better person. Not saying he was a bad person, but I do
yeah,
think like
yeah,
when I do think when you're a spiritual person, I do think that generally people who are spiritual, I don't want to call them better people, but I think value they put a value, whether it be on life or certain things that are important. I think they do that. Where I think if they aren't religious and they're not spiritual, um, and I'm not saying they're bad people. Like, we have a friend in the U.S., pretty sure like atheist, uh,
yeah,
good person. Well, generally good person. Um, but I just think that there's something there. I think there's something extra there. Another layer of something. Like I can't. I'm having a hard time fit the word, but I do think there's like an extra layer of something.
yeah,
Um, where I think you're just, I don't know, maybe going out of your way is like the wrong term, but like I just think like maybe, I don't know, man. There's just something there. I think like spiritual people really do like really look out for people, and they try to really do their part within society or humanity. And they just, when you believe in something bigger than yourself and outside of yourself, I really do think that that's when you become the best version of yourself.
mm-hmm, 100%.
Does that make
I agree.
sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just shocked about the whole coma thing, man.
Yeah. The coma thing is kind of, yeah. Now that, like, bro, it's got me going. Like, I'm really thinking, how
Yeah.
many of these coma cases? And I wanna see what, like, these coma, like, do they consider these cases near death experiences? Because some comas are induced, right? Like, they'll
Yeah.
put you into a coma to, do certain things, or, like, for certain, like,
Exactly.
procedures or
Yeah.
so if they can induce you into these, like, into comas. So, like, how close, like, so when you're in a coma, how close are you to be clinically, to clinically dead? Because I believe there's a difference. There's a reason why there's dying, coma, and,
No, exactly.
so,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's got to be these, like, you know differences. um but, like, compared to, like, a near death experience, like, I wanted, like, the experience itself for near death experiences, how close are they to what people in comas are experiencing? I
Hmm.
really want to do, I'm going to look more in depth on that. I want to see if there's, like, some overlap or some tie in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. Now I'm very intrigued on that too.
Yeah, the whole coma thing. I'm going to look into that more because I'm
Yeah.
very intrigued with that at this point. Yeah, it's kind of neat.
So what was your second? I think you had said you had two.
Yeah, so the second one, this is the one that's really, like, it blows my mind. Like,
Hmm.
it really does blow my mind. So the second one, this woman, Pam Reynolds. So pretty much, the doctors performed a procedure called a hypothermic cardiac arrest. So I think it was, I think she had, like, an aneurysm. So the doctors performed, like, the hypothermic cardiac arrest.
Hmm.
So what happened was they brought her body temperature down to 15 degrees Celsius. So for you Americans, it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is really, really cold. Um, so then it ended up stopping her heart, and then her brain activity went completely flat. So her brain activity flatlined, bro.
Wow.
All of the blood from her brain drained out. So she was clinically as close to dead as medically possible. She had no blood even in her brain. Her brain, like, it flatlined.
Oh my God.
So this is where it gets, like, pretty crazy, man. So she reports acknowledging leaving her body and observing the surgery, bro, from above. Like, so she was, like, above her body, looking down and watching everything go on. Bro, she was able to describe the surgical saw in detail, which was
Oh
confirmed by the
God.
staff. Then she was telling, well, so when she came back, she was telling the doctors the conversations they were having with each other.
Oh my God.
So when the surgeons and the doctors were all talking together, and the nurses, she was able to hear everything they were saying. And then she said after that, then she moved through a tunnel toward a bright light. And then at the end of that tunnel where she observed this bright light, she encountered her deceased relatives who told her that it wasn't her time.
What the hell?
Yep.
Like, I mean,
So,
I heard a lot about, like, when people die, they go and their their significant others just come and grab them to take them with them, whatever.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
But that's crazy though. So, like, I believe that. I believe, like, she, like, her relatives or whatever came and grabbed her, right?
mm-hmm.
But then what happened after that though?
She woke up. I guess the surgery was over, and because she was under
Oh, when
anesthesia, so they
yeah,
just
when they're
reversed
like,
it, right? Or whatnot.
mhm,
So I
when
guess
they're
that
like, it's
ended.
not your time, they kind
Well,
of,
well, there's that, but I mean, also at the same time, like, who knows how long the surgery was, like, but, like, eventually I guess they put, like, I could be wrong, but I do think there's, like, a reverse agent that they can, put in through intravenous or whatnot, and it kind of wakes you out of up from being under, right? So
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
that put
yeah.
an end to the experience too. Who knows? But that's pretty
That's
much like
crazy.
as much information as I can get. But so no blood flow to the brain. Her brain activity, because they got her hooked up. They got her hooked up, bro, to all the devices. They can see her brain activity. They can see her heart. They can see the blood pressure. They can see everything. Her brain activity flatlined. There was no activity. And she was under anesthesia, bro. So they're operating, or they're doing the procedure on her, and she's able to describe the conversations they had in detail perfectly. She was able to describe the saw that they were using. She was able to describe a whole bunch of things that were going on in the surroundings. And on top of it, think about it, okay? She's describing things from a view above her body. She was also describing, like, for anyone who's interested, you can go and look this up more, but she was describing things that were in the operating room that she wouldn't have been able to see laying down on a bed. Like, they were either behind her on a shelf. Like, she was able to describe the surroundings.
What the hell?
So she's in a position where she wouldn't have been able to see it. Now, maybe she walks into the room in the beginning, like, if you want to get skeptical, and maybe she's observing things or this or that. Okay, it's possible. But, for the most part, she's laying down. They put her out while she's out. And they would know if she was up, bro. They're operating on her.
Yo,
She's describing conversations they're having and the tools they're using, at least a saw, while she is completely out. How do you explain that? Yeah, and it's all the staff, the surgeons, the doctor, they all confirmed it. They confirmed crazy, everything. Man. Like, she's not even accurate. Like, she is 100% correct with describing everything she saw. And seeing it from above her body.
I would love to meet somebody that had an out of body experience. I would just love to meet them.
Yeah, well, there are people who claim, like, through meditation and whatever, they can, like, have them, because I don't even know if what I experienced was, I can't consider it an outer body experience. I don't think. Like, I don't remember. Like, I remember feeling like I was like the Velcro type thing, but I don't know what that is. But, like, I can tell you that I didn't think I was just, like, floating above, and, like, I wasn't able to see walls. I didn't see my body. Like, I just, who knows what that experience was for me. But, like,
there's probably different out of body experience.
Well, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe. Not everybody has the same exact out of body experience.
But I wonder if it's, like, tied into what they call astral projection. So, like, there are people that don't need to die to have profound experiences, like through meditation, or maybe there's other means to do it, but there are people who claim that they can just, like, leave their body and they'll be up and they can see their body here, and they can kind of astral project and see things in other dimensions, or God knows where. That's also maybe a cool topic for another podcast, in the future, because I need to also look more into it. So I don't really want to say too much, because, like, I don't want to go into something where I don't really know anything about. But I do know for sure. I've listened to many podcasts where they talk about, but they call it astral projection. They don't call it near-death experiences. So they're not necessarily, like, having these experiences with God. They're just having these outer body experiences where they're able to, I guess, their soul or their consciousness is able to just come up and out, and they can experience just all these different realities. Whether that's real or not, I don't know.
Excuse me.
But I mean, it's interesting.
You know what's crazy, man? I was thinking this too. I'm like, I think I would be scared to try out an out-of-body experience. I think I would be scared to try that.
I'd be scared, because what if I can't come back?
But that's the thing, though. You're scared now, but if you can't come back, you're probably going to be happy.
Nah, I'll tell you why I wouldn't. I've got
for sure,
man.
For sure.
You're saying that for that.
No. But hold on, like, you're saying that now. You're saying that now. But if you left your body, you don't have you wouldn't know who you have in your life. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, where I was looking up, obviously, on YouTube, Life After Death, and they said they're like, once I'm out of my body, I'm on the other side for like. I don't know what happened in my original life. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be where I am. Yeah, they're like, I'm happy to be on the other side. I like they're saying they never want to leave.
Yeah.
they don't want to leave, man. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yes, you're saying that now. Obviously, you wouldn't want to leave your freaking family.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
you know, I
yeah.
don't think
No, it
anybody
makes
wants to
sense.
leave their family, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
No, if that's how it actually works and it's real,
yeah,
then I would agree with you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
there is one thing I'll say though, is when I had mine, I did remember clearly that I was 17 years old. Like I like that's literally what I said to God or the energy. It's like I'm 17 years old, and I knew like that I wasn't like I knew I was still experiencing something in reality, what we call reality. So it's not like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know, but I can't call that an out of body experience, and I don't even know what that experience was. All I know is it was super profound to me, and waking up with that cloth, that's what made it like even more. It verified that what I went through was like real, like it
Yeah,
felt real. But again, in saying that, it's like it's not like I didn't know that I was Andrew over here. Like I still knew I was 17 years old. I knew I had a life here. But
yeah.
yes, it happened so fast that it's not like I was reevaluating it. Like, oh, I don't, I'm gonna miss my mom. You're right. You're right in that aspect. I didn't even think about my family. Like I was just
Mm-hmm.
in the moment, being like, this is super comfortable, and I'm okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you even said it yourself, right? You're like, if you're going to take me, I'm okay with it.
100%.
You know what I mean? So like,
Absolutely.
that's just that's just mind
Yeah,
blowing right there, man.
yeah.
And it's not like you had like the full on experience of the out of
No,
body
no.
experience. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
mine was, compared to what a lot of people are stating. Mine is
Mm-hmm.
like, bro, it's the boring story. Although
Yeah, yeah.
profound to me, because like I experienced it. It's not the I was over my body in a operating room describing everything that was going. Yeah, no, I'm not that cool guy.
You
Like
know?
I'm not that cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
never
yeah,
happened to
yeah.
me. I'm not even gonna even try to even go there. That's why
Oh
I
man.
find that one, in like that specific uh that specific situation, I find it so wild.
No, for
like
sure, for
like
sure.
yeah, I had nothing like that. Yeah,
On
that's
on
crazy, bro.
honestly, man, it's this whole experience, man, with the out of body experience, man. I keep watching it, man, on
Hmm.
YouTube. It's just because I want to know other people, like what they've been through. You know what I mean? What was
Yeah,
their experience? What, and don't get me wrong, their experience, like to that point where like getting hit by a car or I don't know, getting like shot or something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Obviously, those
yeah.
are bad. You don't want nothing to happen like that to anybody, right? But
Yeah,
just to hear the experience of like them going to the other side is just it's so fascinating to me, man, because it's like you don't think of this stuff growing up. You don't. You know what I mean? Because like we're
yeah,
not
yeah.
built like that, you know.
Hmm.
But like when you're a certain age, it's just like you start thinking about stuff like that. Then you're
You
like, you
do.
know what I mean? Then you get like, I don't know, you just get interested in stuff and just have questions and have that, you know what I mean? So it's
Oh, yeah. I just think like I think as we try to like, I think at some point in our lives, and I think for some people, like we mature and do things at different ages. I don't think it's the same for everyone, but I think like as we try to figure out who we are, I think
mhm.
part of that is trying to figure out what we are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like, where did we come from? Is there more to life? Like,
yeah.
is God real? Is religion real? What is real? Like, what's real?
But yo, you
You
know
know?
what's crazy, bro? It's I actually have like I think to myself, it's a very good question. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're a kid,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you remember things? If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, at 5 or 4 years old, I don't remember anything.
Oh, there's a lot. But to be fair though, Phil, I'm also at a point in my life where I, I felt like I remembered more before having kids too, though. I feel like now that I'm like full in family mode and working, full time, and, doing things like this as a hobby, I feel like because I'm constantly like doing stuff, I'm having a hard time remember things also. Like I can't remember what I did for my birthday last year. I can't remember my birthday before. Like I have to really like think about things like, oh yeah, or it's like, oh wow, that happened 6 or 7 years ago. Like, oh wow, that's moving quick. Like it feels like, man, every day it just feels like everything happened last week, but in reality, like things happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Hmm.
So I'm losing track of time like crazy, and I'm having a hard time remembering everything. I don't know if it's because like I'm just so busy, I'm having a hard time like just kind of like taking everything in. But like I completely agree. I think because when you're young, I just think, man, you're just living life. Like unless there's
But at
something like
like at 4 or 5 years old, like it's just I don't know, man. It's
you
just
don't
I
you don't
feel
have
like
any you don't have any memories for 4 or 5?
no, man. I personally I think like obviously there's a soul inside that body,
Yeah.
but I feel like are just are man. I don't know how to explain it to be honest. I really want to know what I'm thinking right now, man, because like it's just when you're 4 or 5 years old, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Your conscience is basically not there, if that makes sense. Like it's so hard to explain, bro.
No,
So
it's
hard
just
to explain.
there, but I
I
just think
have
you're
it in my
young.
head. I have it in
Hmm.
my head, bro, but I just can't. I don't know
You're
how
having
to
a hard time.
explain it. You know what I
That's
mean?
the issue with this. It's really hard to put your ideas or how you feel sometimes into words. Like
Yeah,
it's not a you thing, bro. It's this topic thing. It's
yeah. Because
really
I don't want
difficult
to
to
be
put
like,
things into
oh,
words. Yeah.
I just don't want to be like, oh, we didn't have a soul at 4 or 5 years old. Like, how
Mm.
dumb does that sound?
No. You
Like,
have a
obviously we
soul.
have a soul,
Yeah.
but
Like
like,
yeah.
it's just the thinking of like, what did I do when I was 5 or 4 years old, bro? Like,
You're just, bro. I just think you're living life. Like you're
you're
not.
not stressed
I
thinking
think
about other
unless
bullshit.
I think the only things you're really gonna remember, bro, are the most profound things in your life, good and bad. So if there was any trauma.
Mhm.
Like I think if you got into a bad car accident at 4 and 5 years old, because I know for again, like I'm not going to go into me, but I do have memories from when I was younger. But they were either some of the best memories that I can look back on, or they're ones that like I
But
really
how
don't
young
like.
though?
Oh, young. Like I was actually having a conversation with my mother about, a memory that wasn't so great. I think I was talking to her about it yesterday, and I thought I would have been about like 4 or 5 when it happened. She's like, no, you were actually like you and your sister were still wearing diapers, so like I would have had to have been 2
But
or
how?
maybe
How?
3.
Like, what the
And then I was
hell?
like, but don't get me wrong, like I don't remember it the same way I remember like a memory now. And it's not like I remember much of it, but I do remember like, maybe like a 5 second snippet of it in my head. And then I don't
Hmm.
remember what happened before or after, but like I do
Uh,
remember a certain situation actually happening.
yeah.
So like I think they just have to be profound, whether it be like traumatic or, profoundly positive. And I think you can maybe, but I just think like if you're just kind of nothing terrible is happening to you in your life and I don't want to say nothing good. Like your parents have always been like great. I'm sure you had a
Yeah.
really good childhood, but I just think like unless you went to Disney World at 4, you're not going to remember it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like I just think it has to be like a bigger, more profound thing to happen for you to remember those, because otherwise, Phil, it's just going to be the same thing when you're young. You're going to want to go outside and play with your friends, and it's going to be like rinse, wash, repeat.
yeah, man.
Like, and I think that's why we have a hard time remembering things. Same thing with me. I go to work every day, or I'll wake up in the morning. Yeah, obviously, like deal with my family situation, with like Leanna and stuff, and then send her, or I end up going to work. She goes to school. I go kill myself at work. I come home, and then it's like homework and going through her, her
Yeah.
chores and whatever routine we have. But it's rinse, wash, and repeat. And unless something profound happens, like I'm just not going to remember this day either. I just don't think we're
Hmm.
going to remember it.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy,
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So I don't know. I guess if you want to get a little, uh, not deep, but I mean, like, just I don't know. Just I try to make an effort to like kind of just try to remember something quite often, even if just I don't know. I try to do little things, man. Like, I'll be in the drive-through and sometimes the guy like behind me, I'll just like I pay their coffee or whatever. And those moments I'll see, like just little things that you'll remember, little things that are like off of the beaten track of what is really going on with your life. It's things like that
Hmm.
I remember. Or if someone does it for me, I'm just like,
Hmm.
oh wow, that was nice of them. And then things like that I don't forget because it's not like part of my everyday routine. I think that the everyday routine stuff, bro, we're always gonna forget it.
Yeah.
I just think our brains are on autopilot, bro. We're not like
No,
consciously
for
like
sure.
dialed in for it. How many times, bro, have you been listening to music and driving and you're like, oh shit, I'm home? Like, has
Yeah.
that ever happened to you? Like,
Yo, you know what?
do you remember
That's
every
a
second of your drive
yeah.
home, bro? Like,
That's a funny. The fact that you said that is crazy because sometimes I'm driving home, I'm just chilling, and then next thing you know, it's like, what the hell? I'm here already? Like,
people are like, yo, did I hit someone?
bro,
Like, what did I do? I don't remember
some
the drive home. Like, yo, it must have been a good song. All I know is I was listening to the same song on repeat. And now I'm home. Yo, I traveled through time. Was there a portal?
Yo,
I know.
sometimes I'm like, bro, I'm not even joking, bro. Sometimes I'm like, yo, I'm shocked I didn't get into an accident, bro. And I'm like, yo, I'm just chilling. I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, what the hell, bro?
Yeah. Well,
Yo,
bro, you astral projected, bro. You went through a
bro,
portal, like you got home.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh man, I know,
Oh,
but that's why I think we don't remember things, Phil. I just think that we're so we're not. I, I think there's like what's that type of consciousness? There's something where we're like our subconscious is just on like autopilot. We're able to do things and do them somewhat safely to a degree,
yeah.
where we don't have to be so dialed in all the time. You know, so and I think that's why, bro. Yeah, man, you just throw on some good tunes, and next thing you know, you're home, and you're just like, holy jeez, what happened?
Bro,
But
bro, I love how we like just went off freaking track.
I know, but I'm about to bring it back because
Bring it
although
back.
there are these experiences that we talked about, there's obviously a very legitimate skeptical side to this, and I think I'll bring up a few, but I do think one of them is really fascinating. So in saying everything that we just like we talked about, and again, I don't think science can prove or disprove what's happening. Um, but there are some suggestions from the skeptics.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is just like, so the brain under extreme stress. So let's say during like cardiac arrest or trauma, like the oxygen levels in your body drops, the carbon dioxide rises, and then the brain becomes unstable. So when the brain becomes unstable, a lot of people report that that's when they actually see like tunnel vision or bright lights or this euphoria or calmness as well, right? So, and those are, typical things that people who have near death experiences, they'll talk about. So, and then there's also like the research itself suggests that like the brain releases a surge of chemicals near death. So like endorphins. So the endorphins, they reduce pain. And then because your pain is reduced, it creates more like calmness and a peace, right? Then you have dopamine. So the dopamine can produce like vivid imagery. So when people like that doctor, for instance, when he was like, oh, he started off in this, mud-like realm. And then from there it went to like these vibrant colors and all this, all this beauty and stuff that like that he couldn't, you can't find on Earth. And then there's the possible release of DMT. And I think that is where things get really wild, like
Mm-hmm.
really, really wild. So do you know what DMT is?
Yeah, it's that out of body experience, right? You take it. I think
No,
it's like a
no,
pill or something.
no, 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 no. Well, you're okay. Well, you're kind of in like the ballpark. So, the easy way to say it is DMT, and I guess the harder way is dimethyltryptamine. So, tryptamine, bro. It's pretty much it's a natural occurring psychedelic found in, if I'm not mistaken, almost all of living life. Definitely in
Mm-hmm.
like certain plants, definitely like within our organs. So like our lungs, I think our liver produces it. So like it's nicknamed the spirit molecule.
Hmm.
So because it's within most of life, or if not all of life. So like I said, plants, people, animals, like it's within life. So it's nicknamed the spirit molecule. So pretty much when it's taken in high doses, bro, you can have these like intense, hyper real, I don't know if they're visions or like actual, you know, um, out of body experiences, like, with, and then oftentimes, bro, there are encounters with like entities, whether it be like machine elves, people describe them as like machine elves, aliens, God, you name it, like, you know, and one of my buddies, well, you know him too, but like, one of our buddies in the States, he says, you want to come face to face with God, you need, like, cause he's done it. He's like, if you want to come face to face with God, and kill off your ego, pretty much, like these are the types of experiences like you need to have, type thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so pretty much like you get these sensations of like your soul leaving the body. There's this distortion of time. stuff like that. Then, you, and I believe in the beginning, like you start to see like this geometric patterns and stuff. It's almost like, seeing how like the different dimensions are like actually put together through geometry and stuff. So they're quite wild experiences, man, for sure. So up to that part, do you have any questions, or do you want to add to any of that? Because I believe there's a little bit more. I've taken down a couple notes here, so I just want to make sure I'm not like leaving anything out.
Isn't that you just tripping out though when you take that, or is it like a real thing?
Well, it's a real psychedelic experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think like mushrooms and like LSD and stuff, like they're not like a natural psychedelic.
Because
Like,
when you say you see like aliens, for example,
yeah.
is it like aliens like real aliens, or is it just like you're just tripping out and you see like these, I don't know,
The
colorful aliens or
well,
something?
the people who have these experiences, they
Mm-hmm.
claim it's extremely real.
Really?
There's even what's his name? This can be Googled, again, don't take my word for it. This can be Googled, but there are people that like go on these like DMT trips, and they come back like solving, having equations for different scientific discoveries and other things. And
Hmm.
they got it from this realm. And I don't know if anyone really knows what this is, but like it's pretty wild, man.
Yeah, that's
Like
different.
the whole DMT thing, because see, there are like I don't even know if I want to call them skeptics, because I think skeptic is like I think it's too strong of a word, but
Mm-hmm.
like there are also like psychiatrists and like other types of like doctors and neurosurgeons and other types of like professionals. They say that, so when you're close to death, they believe that our brains or our bodies are producing DMTs, like is
That's
producing
right. That's
DMT.
right. I heard of that. Yeah.
And because the DMT is it's a psychedelic, maybe we're just having a psychedelic experience even after you're flatlined, that could last for maybe up to 10 or 15 minutes, and then consciousness is out, and
That's
then
right.
there's nothing.
That's right.
So that is their angle from the other side. I
Hmm.
guess that's, yeah. So that's the angle from the other side, and them saying that, because what we do know, DMT is in our bodies. We do know that the brain does release it in a lot of these near death experiences, or all these different, like, all these different experiences. So if DMT is a psychedelic, a natural psychedelic, and the body's releasing it, then you're likely going to have like some sort of trip. And maybe that's why the brain under stress or the body under stress is producing this, to create a comfortable path to actually dying.
Hmm.
And maybe it just, I don't want to say goes dark, because then, maybe just consciousness cuts out, like you're dead. And then it's just like, do you remember before you were born? No. Well, then you're not going to remember anything after you're gone either. So
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good point.
all of this stuff, bro, could all be linked to DMT.
That's crazy. So you can actually
Mhm.
take something
Yeah, DMT.
that
Or
that basically it's like you're basically dead, but you're not. You're just on it, and then you're gonna come back to life eventually.
maybe because like, think about it. Like, let's just say like I don't know, let's say you're choking on an apple or something, and then
Hmm.
you end up going unconscious because lack of oxygen, but like
That's right.
someone's around and they're able to, either administer CPR, do something, and then they can bring you back. But
Hmm.
while you're unconscious, your body is dying from a lack of oxygen, your brain's dying, right? You only have a few minutes before, like, yeah, I think you've only got 3 or 4 minutes before your brain is like about to really cut out on you.
Hmm.
And so, because your body's under stress, there's no oxygen, your body, to make it comfortable for you in a very uncomfortable situation, is going to create this psychedelic response or experience for you that is very calming, So you're maybe more accepting of the situation. So you're not in like this panic, or you don't experience any pain or anything like that. So that could be a very legitimate like explanation for all of this stuff. So maybe DMT is just to make death more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is, this psychedelic experience will wear off. And then that's when you're just flatlined. And then maybe just there is no consciousness after.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But the argument to even like, with the doctors, and so I guess the other side, I guess our skeptical side to it, is that there's no direct proof that like DMT is actually the cause of near death experiences. But I do think that the link to it should be studied. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how you can but I mean, I do think it should be studied, because I do think if there is a counter argument to near death experiences, I think DMT is the culprit. But I also think it's the culprit. It could also be the culprit for what life is, bro. Because remember, it is a psychedelic, but it's natural occurring in almost all of life.
But if you take this, you have potential of actually dying.
I don't think you can die from, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone dying from it. I do think like you can have, I have heard of people having really good trips on it and having
Mm-hmm.
really bad trips on it. But I think it's like, but I think it'll tie in like, bro, like I've never done anything but smoke a bit of marijuana, and like I don't even smoke marijuana. I barely drink. Like I've never
Yeah.
done anything outside of that. I've never had a psychedelic trip. Like I've never done anything like, so like for me to do like DMT would be like crazy stuff. And I would actually, if I was like, honestly, bro, if I was like had like a terminal illness and I knew like I wasn't gonna make it, that would be the one thing
Yeah.
I
That
would
you would
want.
try.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I would
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
DMT, an ayahuasca trip. Like I would want something with DMT in it.
I'm
I
the
want to
same way, actually.
experience
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like something like that. Like I wouldn't want to do like,
Just
it's away
just so
from the
you
rest
know
of the
what to
hard stuff, but
expect.
well, just something like that. But like there's a lot of people, like even like a Machine Gun Kelly. Like
Mm.
there's a lot of people that have profoundly changed after having these DMT experiences, because apparently what happens if you have a bad experience, bro, apparently it's like due to your ego. A
Mm.
DMT experience is well known for killing off the ego, like just killing it and transforming you into a much better person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But without a doubt, bro, most of these experiences, people are coming in contact with, whether they call them aliens, call them angels, call them demons, call them machine elves, is a very popular term for them, which is kind of weird because machine elf, like what's a machine elf, right? But
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just the coin term.
Machine
It's a
elf.
very, yeah, bro, machine elves. It is extremely profound. Like everyone, like most people, bro, they're coming in contact with, like, I guess entities is, for lack of a better word, entities. And the
Yeah.
other thing with a DMT trip, bro. Okay, let's just say you take mushrooms, I take mushrooms. We're not gonna have the same trip, Phil. You might think clowns are chasing you,
No,
and
that's
I
true.
might think
That's
there's,
true.
freaking Godzilla behind me. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna, we might trip together, but we're gonna have different
Different
experiences.
trips. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that talk about having the same exact trip.
Yeah.
So you take DMT, I take DMT, we both are having the exact same experience. So if you're seeing machine elves, I'm seeing them too. If you're talking with aliens, I'm talking with those aliens too. How are we having the same trip?
Yeah.
So maybe we're not tripping. Maybe you and I are actually in this other dimension.
Mm. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, how else are we having the same? How are we having the same experience?
Yeah, that's a very good one, actually. Yeah, you're right.
If
How are we having?
if we both took LSD or mushrooms or whatever, we're not going to have the same experience.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
trip. I'm going to have a trip. We both be tripping, but we're having different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people talk about experiencing the same things at the same times with each other, and sometimes in large groups? How do you explain that one? DMT, man, is like, That's the big one for me, man. Like that is the big one. That bro, DMT can literally be like the answer to all of life. That could be God's chemical. That could be God's miracle for all of life.
That's a
It
good point,
needs,
actually.
bro, it really needs to be studied more.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I
So
agree 100%.
I think so, and that's why I truly believe, bro. I think DMT is the culprit for either side. I think it could be the answer for the skeptical side of it, and then you flatline, so it makes death comfortable. We flatline,
Mm-hmm.
and then consciousness is gone, and we're just gone. Or just like I stated, I think it could be like the legitimate answer, like God's chemical, whatever, however God created like the universe, like everything. I just think that like that could be the key to all of it. I think it just comes down to DMT.
Yep. Yep. No,
Because think
bro,
about it, bro. It's naturally in everything. Plants, humans, animals. It's in everything. Everything has DMT in it.
that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy.
And D,
Maybe it is God's like friggin'
yeah. But
pill or some chemical.
we talked about this, and obviously, like I'm on the side of like there is life after death, and having the
100%.
experience I did, like I
Yep.
kind of touched on it in the first episode. Like I'm not betting against it. I had an
Mm-hmm.
experience. I'm going to go to the grave with it. Like I know what I experienced, so like I would be foolish to bet against it.
Yeah.
But if it is the DMT that made it comfortable, and maybe 10 minutes later everything is just gone, well then I'm wrong. But I'm not going to bet against it. I firmly believe that there is life after death, some way, some form, somehow. And I don't think science is ever really going to put it together. I don't think science can figure it out. And maybe that's just God's mystery. Whatever God is, I think that's just the mystery.
Yeah.
And as much as like I'm so interested and I want to learn everything, I just think sometimes, man, just some things are just meant to be learned. Maybe we should
Yeah.
just start living life and appreciating life more and stop trying to chase the answers. But I can't help it, man. I'm a sucker
No,
for this stuff.
me too. Me too, man.
You know?
Yo, and you know what? I recently just started getting into this too
Mm-hmm.
about like I'm being fascinated with life after death and stuff like that, out of body experience, reincarnation, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But before we do wrap it up, I have one more thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was watching the YouTube of life after death, um, there was one girl. She said that when she passed away, there was like there was somebody that came and grabbed her
Mm-hmm.
and then brought her basically to the other side. But also, she said that on the floor, there was like, it was like a projector on the floor and it was
Yeah.
showing your whole life
Oh,
story.
that's so a life review. I'm glad you talked because I didn't want to like go back and like, hear this episode or like watch it and be like, man, we forgot that. So I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Life reviews.
That's
I don't even know. I don't
crazy.
even know what to think about that. And
Bro.
sometimes I'll let you get back at that. I just don't want to forget this. Sometimes with the life reviews too, it's almost
Mhm.
like your life flashes like before your eyes. And not only do you have the life review, but you get to experience how you made the people around you feel. So like, let's
Yeah.
just say like I wasn't good to you. I
Yeah.
would feel how I made you feel.
That's right.
I would
That's
feel how I hurt you. Or let's say I was really good to you, then I would feel like I was a good friend to him. He misses me dearly. And then like, you're hurt, I'm gone. Or I'd be able to feel the way you felt about me and the way
100%.
I treated you. I find that crazy because life reviews is like, there's a lot of that with like near death experiences. So
Yeah,
with
man.
saying that, I'm going to let you just continue. But like, yeah,
No,
it's
but
fascinating. Life reviews are real. It's a real
very
thing for people.
fascinating, bro. Like, it's crazy, man, because as she was saying what she was seeing and she was looking at her life, you know what I mean? Like her life story and stuff like that. She was just saying like how like there was like nothing like it. You know what I mean? Like it was just imagine a projector on the ground, just going over your life.
It's
You know what I
wild,
mean? Like
man.
it's just crazy to me, bro. And then she was talking about how this is like a learning lesson. So whatever mistakes you did, that's what's going to be shown. And then when you go into your other life, is what you're gonna learn from it. You know what I
And I
mean?
guess that ties back into maybe episode 1 with like reincarnation, right?
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's just mind blowing to me, bro. It's just seeing that. Just imagine standing there, bro. Just standing there and just watching your whole life. Like even with like my dad and my mom and my sister, brother, like it's just like just watching your whole life since you were a
I
kid.
feel like it would be like one of the most surreal and profound moments of my life, because
100%.
especially because of the type of person I am. Like I really like, I have a small group, you know, I have a small group of people, but I really care about the people that are in my group. Like if I know the things that, like if I did anything that would like hurt people and I like experienced that and I felt like, you know, your pain or disappointment, that would really eat at me, man.
Yo,
Like
for
that would be
sure.
such like it'd be like stepping into a cold shower, man. Like it would just like really like boom. Like wow.
I just think that was just fast. I had to say that before we actually like end
No,
the
Phil,
show
I'm
there. But
so glad you did, because I would have forgot about it. I would
yeah,
have
man,
completely, I wouldn't have brought it up. I'm glad you mentioned it, man. It kind of
the whole
completes everything.
yeah, man, the whole time it was just in my head. I'm like, yo, I have to say this, man. I didn't want to forget it. That's why I said it. But yeah, but hey, listen, this was another show that we succeeded at, so I'm actually happy.
Yeah,
I'm actually very happy with this episode.
Yeah, when I watch it back, hopefully I learned a little from the things that I personally didn't like about, you know, me in the first one. But that's the benefit. That's the absolute benefit from, you know, starting from day one is, you know, you see things you like, you see things you didn't like, and you try to make these little incremental changes over time, and you just try to be better. And hopefully I did that this time. Nah, because Phil, you a rock star, dog.
Nah, you're a rock
you know
star.
what I mean? Yeah, you a rock star, dog.
But anyways, man, well, I really appreciate the viewers for watching. And please, if you guys don't mind, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and please hit that bell notification and help us grow, because we're still new to this. Just try to help us grow, and then we'll bring out more content for you guys. But we really appreciate you guys for watching.